going to meet customers from Baltimore who gave Groundworks 5-star reviews. They don't know I'm here. They just reached out and said, yeah, we would love to talk about how great it was.
Hi, Mr. Rowe.
It's Mr. Mike Rowe.
Wow.
It's always a good sign when satisfied customers need to be bleeped before the interview even begins. Can't wait to see what happens next.
Nice to meet you.
I try. I really try.
Dawn?
Yes,
So first things first, you are a real customer.
I am.
You're just a nice woman who left a 5-star review.
100%.
What brought you to him?
I bought a house 10 years ago in Ellicott City. If
I
you're
was
familiar.
born there.
So you know the floods, you know the problems in the ground.
Huge.
So my house was built in 1946. There was no building code back then. And I thought everything was great. And then the first 100-year flood hit. And I went downstairs to rotate the laundry and realized the entire basement was washing itself.
If you guys don't know what she's talking about, Google Ellicott City 100-year flood. The images are unbelievable.
It's horrible. Stress, tears, anger. I became the local weather girl unknowingly because I knew more than 2 inches in 48 hours, I'm gonna have water. So it is no way to live. You don't want to invite people over. It stinks. It's mitigation. It's chasing. This is where my kids have home. This is where they have friends over. This is where I've got pets. This is my home. This is an investment, right? And now suddenly I've got an indoor swimming pool that's got issues that no one wants to deal with. Water, as everyone knows, finds its way in some way, somehow. The idea with a lot of these systems, as I've learned, is you're not stopping the water, you're inviting it in and controlling it and directing it where you want it to go.
That's right.
I had 5 separate companies come out. Groundworks was one of the last companies to come out and honestly was on the back end of the quotes I had. I was kind of wanting to get this done and settled. And the rep came out and showed me the actual physical gutter system. And I said, that makes sense. Not only does it make sense, it's bringing the water in through the trench you're gonna put in. It's gonna come up the wall. The laminate's gonna come down over that flap. It's gonna feed in there. That makes sense. The weep holes are bringing it in there. The gutter system is pitched slightly. It's gonna come down. It's gonna hit a point. It's gonna make it like, I got that. I'm a little more mechanical than I probably appear to be, but that made sense. And I said, so, okay. And I walked through the whole thing with him and I said, look, there's an existing drainage system here that's failing. And why is yours gonna be better than this? He said, it's failing because. And I said, okay, that makes sense also. I said, I also wanna know what your warranty is on this. If I get a clog, if somehow a mouse makes it in there and gups up the whole thing and I got a backup, where am I at? It was the mechanics and my understanding of what they were installing and how they were gonna do it.
Yeah. What would you say to a homeowner who doesn't know anything about any of this and just is learning right now for the first time that they got cracks, they got uneven floors, they got a problem?
Nowadays, you can literally get on YouTube, you can go on Groundworks page and they'll show you exactly what their work is.
Don't take my word for it. Look at the videos that we shot today. No shortcuts. They kicked my ass. I could see how this could wear you out. I have bit off more than I could chew here.
Everything the brochure promised.
Most companies would never show you the stuff that we just spent the last 5 hours in because they want it pretty and they want it careful and they hire actors.
No.
You're not an actor.
No,
now you are a singer.
not. I am a singer.
We should do a jingle for Groundworks.
Okay, work it. I'm all in.
I got it. All right. Okay.
What?
Actually, they're on my podcast now, so I wrote one for them last week. I'm just trying to remember when.
You could have slid me the
All right, so you do this part. When mold and mildew's in your face.
When mold and mildew's in your face.
Put that water back into its place. And then you say it, Groundworks.
Okay.
When mold and mildew's in your face, put that water back into its place.
When mold and mildew's in your face.
Put that water back into its place.
With Groundworks.
That's what we're talking about.
Just down the street from the park where I met Dawn is the home of Janina, another charming homeowner whose home, I'm sorry to say, is not as charming as it once was. Thanks to water damage, her foundation is in desperate need of repair. And this is not what you'd call a do-it-yourself job.
What's your name?
Janina.
Janina?
Yeah.
Janina what?
Ferrix.
Janina Ferrix, and this is your real home.
Yes.
How long have you lived here?
We bought late 2019.
And why are the Groundworks folks here today? What's going on?
Well, we did not realize that there was an extensive foundation issue when we bought
Can
the
we wait till
house.
that annoying thing just flies over? Because I felt like you were right on the verge of saying something really important.
Yeah.
That's the level of authenticity.
When we bought the house, the inspector told us, "Oh, hey, your floor is sloping right here," and we're like, "Okay, but like, there's no cracks in the walls." Like, how many times have you walked into an old house that has a sloping floor? A lot.
It's kind of charming in a way.
So we bought the house.
Did you know what the issue?
No.
What would cause the issue?
No, he did not go down in the crawl space to find out. He just identified, hey, your floor is sloping and it's right here at this beam. Great. So we thought it was a beam issue. That's it. Like, hey, we have a weak beam.
But what about like peace of mind? Like,
Oh my gosh.
How does it feel to go from a house where, okay, now we know what the problem is, to having it like actually fixed?
There's two things with that. First of all, as just an individual living in a house where you know there's a problem, especially now that we have the problem identified, it's like, oh my gosh, that wall could collapse at any time.
I hate to cast aspersions, but that's just shoddy.
Yeah, this is what's holding up the whole addition to the house.
And it's just cinder blocks, seemingly randomly placed.
There's no footing down there of any kind. It's just allowing all of this to sink. You just never know what's going on unless you hire somebody you can trust. So.
Yeah.
I showed the picture to my daughter yesterday, and she used to live here with us. Oh my gosh, it would just take a little bit of a shake in the ground. It would just come down. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
But the other piece of it is I'm actually a licensed real estate agent.
Mm-hmm.
And in the state of Maryland, there are disclosure laws for sellers.
Sure.
So if I maintain my license and we ever have to sell this house, which could happen, I would have to disclose that. And I know if I disclose this, my selling price is going to just plummet.
Yeah.
I'd be lucky to get an individual buyer to buy this and not an investor.
Yeah.
If we ever had to sell this, I'm not going to be able to sell this house.
Is this your biggest investment on a personal level?
Oh, yeah. And for most people, their home is.
Right. And that's why it's emotional. It's like going to the doctor and coming back with some alarming news, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
You have to take steps.
Yes.
And if you decide to sell, think of the story you have now.
Oh, absolutely.
Like the true story.
Yeah.
We found a problem, we fixed it, and now it's better than it was.
Oh, absolutely.
Are we going to relax later? Will it be cocktails, poolside? Because it's going to be hot and sweaty.
My pool pump broke yesterday.
Your pool pump broke?
Yeah.
I think we can fix that too. How hard can that be?
We're working on that. We're working on that.
Janina is no different than thousands of other homeowners all over the country who simply didn't know what kind of problems came with the home they'd purchased. Here's another one. Her name is Karen Bradley, and without Groundworks, she'd be in a home right now, bailing water out of her basement. When did you first realize you had a problem?
The first summer we moved, it was like the end of the season. We may have had a little bit of water, but nothing like last summer. It was terrible.
How'd you come to know Groundworks?
Well, our house, which turned 100 years old this year, we had basically a pool in our basement anytime we had a decent rain. It was terrible. I mean, used the shop vac to get out gallon after gallon after gallon. My daughter, son-in-law, and grandbaby lived in the basement where it was scary. You could smell the mildew and mold. And
Did you call Groundworks right away, or did you call around? What did you do?
I actually looked them up on the internet, and they were the first big ad that I saw. I did my due diligence. I looked them up separately, and reviews and Better Business Bureau and all that stuff.
Like what you saw?
Absolutely. So
Good.
I didn't call anybody else. I called Groundworks.
Who showed up? How many? Was it a whole crew?
Well, first, my certified inspector came, Jason. He was wonderful, and he was so caring and concerned and professional, and you could tell he knew what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
I cried because I knew, it was going to be a lot. And we had put all this money into the house and everything. But he managed to make it so I could afford it. And then when they came, it was amazing, the work they did. I couldn't believe what they were doing. They basically put stuff under our house to keep it from sinking. It was amazing. And they were done in like maybe 3.5 days.
It's unbelievable. That's what I did all day today. I mean, it's kind of a miracle.
It is, because we have not had no mildew, not even a drop of water.
It's
Anyway.
amazing.
Yep.
So are the kids, is everybody back in the house now?
Yes, my family, they love it.
I mean, I guess it's just an obvious question, but the before and after, not in the basement, but up here.
Up here, really.
Like, can you put I guess it's peace of mind we're talking about, right?
Absolutely. Every time it rains, I don't have to run down there and see what's coming in, I don't even have to look.
Because
I know. There's nothing.
Groundworks reached out to you because you left a very nice review.
Yes, we did. We were so happy with everything, start to finish.
So you gave them 5 stars?
Yes.
Out of 5?
Yes.
Would you give them 6 out of 6?
Out of 6, yes. I would have given them 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10?
Yep.
20 out of 20?
No, you're pushing it.
I am pushing. I mean, like, if you could give 100 stars, like, would you go all the way to 100?
I'd go all the way.
You heard it here. The first 100-star review in the history of home services. Thank you.
All right.
Kamish? Let me
Okay.
help you up.
Yep.
Great.
Thank
Oh,
you.
you're
These
welcome.
aren't what they used to be. That's what
Believe me.
nursing does to you after.
When'd you retire?
2019.
Wow, not long ago.
Yeah.
You did the full boat.
Yeah, I did.
Who's this?
This is my daughter, Abigail.
Hey, Abigail. Mike.
Abby, she likes
How are you? Hi, Abby. Well, thank you too for your patience. Your mom was terrific. Real customers, real people, real problems, real solutions. I mean, come on. What else do you want?
Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Groundworks Companies to go below with Rowe.